Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel for our second video. Today we're going to be tearing down this 1jz for the 110 build and cleaning it up a bit, and yeah, so let's get to it. All right, so as you can see, I haven't done anything to this engine since the last video, other than putting it on the stand, getting the transmission off, which we found out some interesting things that we'll have to address, and one of them being the freeze plug in the back had a hole in it and it was leaking, and I had no idea. The car didn't have any overheating problems. It looked like it plugged itself after a while, so that was pretty interesting to find out once pulling the clutch off. We have the freeze plugs to replace them with, so we'll be doing that as well. All the freeze plugs will get swapped out, and basically today we're just gonna focus on cleaning this thing up and start tearing down the front of it, oil pump, all that stuff, timing components, and getting the valve covers off and ready for the cams and all that to go in. So yeah, let's get started. Real quick before we begin, I want to add that we got some new decals made, so if you guys want to grab some, support the channel, support the cause, we'll put the details in the description below. This one right here is the hollow graphic, and then we have one that's a chrome graphic as well, so yeah. All right, so we got this thing ready to rinse off, put some degreaser on it, and we're gonna spray it down, get it nice and clean. All right, so we got it sprayed down, cleaned up a little bit. Didn't make that much of a difference, but it's better than it was. So we're gonna go ahead and finish removing the freeze plugs. As you can see, I already started removing one. Let's give it a shot and see if my basic tools can do the trick. But yeah, let's take a closer look. All right, so started removing this one already, and all I did was just take a flathead screwdriver and a hammer and just knock one side in, and then I'm gonna take some pliers and just pull them out. So I'm gonna end up doing that for all of them. It should be 11 in total, and yeah. All right, so we got all the freeze plugs out except for one. There's still one back here we need to get out, so we need to pull all this stuff off, water pump, housing, all that, and timing components, and we can go ahead and get that one out. All right, so I already got the crank loose, the bolt loose, and next thing is going to be getting that off, getting this tensioner off and this cover off here, and then we can get to the water pump and all that. So yep, let's go. All right, so we got most of it off. We got the crank pulley off, we got the timing belt off and all that good stuff, tensioner and all that's off. There's one thing I want to show you guys before I continue. So the backing plate for the cam gears, right, covers the water pump bolt, one of them. So what I like to do is just make a cut right here with an angle grinder. That way you can just fold that piece over, and that way when you're ever replacing a water pump in one of these engines and it's still in the car, you don't have to take off everything to get to it. So I'll show you what I mean. I marked it here on with a orange paint marker, so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. All right, so this is what I'm talking about, guys, right here. So right behind here, this plate here, there's a bolt for the water pump, and you can't get to it unless you replace this, or remove this whole plate, which to get to that plate, to take it off, you would have to take off both cam gears. But if you just cut right here, a line right there with a angle grinder or Dremel or whatever, you can just fold that back, get to the bolt, and then just fold it back. You can just tap it back, hammer it back, so it's out of the way of the timing belt. As long as you put it back far enough and it's not touching the timing belt, you guys should be fine. I've done it with like 2 or 3 of these engines already, so never had any issues. But it's just a quick way if you ever have to replace the water pump, well, everything's still inside the car, and not have to remove the cam gears and all that stuff. So, all right, so I made the cut, and all I did was just take a flathead, kind of bent it out, and then took my pliers and just bent it out the rest of the way, and there you have it. Completely free of that plate, and you can get a socket up in there and loosen that bolt. So yeah, nothing to it. It's kind of tricky to get the angle grinder up in there. You kind of have to angle it weird. Just make sure you don't grind anything down, cut anything else off. You're not supposed to. So just be easy with it, be careful, and yeah, should be good. All right, so we got the water pump off in the rear housing. So now we're just gonna use the drill and this nice little tool here. Just clean up all around here so the new freeze plugs will go in nice and tight. Won't have any problems sealing up. And hopefully they won't leak. So yeah. All right, so here are the brand new freeze plugs. Some brass freeze plugs. So hopefully these won't corrode after a while and start leaking like the old ones did. So we're gonna clean these up a little bit and then get these put in. All right, guys, all the freeze plugs are installed. Everything's looking good. Super happy with the way it turned out. I think the hardest thing was the taking the older ones out. Putting the new ones in was a pretty easy process. Wasn't too bad. You will have to remove this engine mount bracket to fully seat this one, and remove this because this hard line right here is in the way of this one. So yeah, looks good so far. All right, guys, so before we wrap the video up, I want to give you guys a little sneak peek of what the engine should look like when it's all done. All right, so here it is mocked up. Got the Tomei MX8280 turbo. Nice billet wheel. External wastegate. Not sure if I want to run that or keep it internal. This is a cheaper wastegate, so I'm not sure how long it's going to last. But maybe we'll give it a shot. Who knows? Would sound pretty cool, I'm sure. Went with a black intake manifold. Throttle body will be black as well. Fuel rail black. We're gonna do the valve covers black, and I got a little bit of gold that's gonna go on it too. So in the engine bay, it's kind of a black and gold theme. It's kind of something simple, pretty clean. I think the black and gold will look real nice. The BC cam gear is gonna be gold. I'm gonna do gold on the firewall. So we'll see. I got a vision and I'm gonna try to stick to it. So first time I'll actually be trying to dress up the engine bay a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. Really stoked on the way it's looking so far. The next thing we'll do is start working on the head components. So the cams, getting the old cams out, putting the new cams in, and trying to get this thing all buttoned up. Well, there you have it, guys. Second video done. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please like and subscribe. And yeah, join us next time. All right, guys. Peace.